to my group form, input form, and add two numbers, submit, I can get the previous result, right? But if I if I check the page source, right click on this page and view page source, as you can see, there is a only plain text available here. Only plain text available here. But if it is a commercial website, let's say our faculty website, then if I see the page source here, you can see there are a bunch of HTML tags available, right? There are a bunch of HTML tags available, and using this HTML tag, we can decorate our content on the client side web page, right? But in this case, there's only plain text here. We can't add background color. We can't change the font style. We can't change the font size because those all the things are plain text. Then let's try to add some HTML here, right? If you want to add some background, let's say background font sizes, H1 tags, H2 tags, P tags, you have to use HTML here, right? But we are now in servlets. Servlets are mainly focusing on Java coding, right? Then we are going to add, or we are going to import some HTML tags in between Java coding, right? Let's try to do this thing, right? These are the things, these are the content that we are going to render to the client side, or we are going to send to the client side as a response. With this response, we can pass some HTML tags here using outer println statement. Println, we can pass some HTML tags as well, right? First of all, we have to specify the we have to start HTML tag. Then we can say head. Inside the head, we have a title tag. Title tag in closing title tag. Then we can give a name for this one. CSC303. Yes, right. We can close the head tag here. Then this content will be go to the body of my web XML file, right? Sorry, this part will go to the body of my HTML page. Therefore, I can start or open a body tag here, right? Then this will be go to the go inside the body tag. After that statement, I can say out.println. Then we can close this body tag, and also we can close HTML tag here, right? Then I will save this thing and restart my server, right? So automatically restarting. Then go back to my website and refresh. Then I can insert two numbers here. Then I can submit this one. Then if I see the page source, you can see there are some HTML tags available here, and also the title is added to this tab, right? This tab title is coming from this title tag, right? Then let's try to add some background color here as well. Background bg color is a property of body tag, right? We can say bg color equals let's say green. There are some error here. All right, this is Java code, right? Then if I go back to my interface and refresh, you can see the things are added, the changes are added to the front end, to the HTML page, right? Then if I change these tags to the H1 tag, I mean I'm going to wrap this output content in between two H1 tags. Open H1 tag and place my content, then close H1 tag. save the content and go back to my interface and refresh. I think still the service restarting. Okay, then go back to my page and submit. You can see that text size is increased. This text size is based on the H1 tag. If I see the page source, you can see all the tags are available with these properties, right? But if assume you are going to build up a page something like this, then you have a bunch of HTML tags here, thousands of HTML tags here. But if you import this amount of HTML tags with this scenario, it is bit harder, right? You can feel if you are import thousands of HTML tags inside out.println statements or something, it is impossible. It is harder to add some thing in between a Java code, right? If the main case is HTML tags or HTML files are not showing any error in HTML, but it is very harder to find HTML and HTML errors and correct them if you are add this HTML inside the Java code. For solution for that, we have a specific thing in servlet in Java. We call it as a JSP. JSP. Using JSP, we are going to add Java code inside an HTML file. Inside HTML file, right? We are moving to the next topic, JSP, right? JSP stands for Java Server Pages. JSP stands for Java Server Pages. Actually, in here, we are going to add some Java code inside HTML tags, right? Actually, JSP file is a HTML file. Then we are going to add some Java code in between HTML tags. It is also a server-side technology is used to creating some web applications, right? Then we can add some Java JSP tags inside HTML or XML or both, right? Then JSP has various features like JSP expressions, tags, JSP expression language, and so on. The advantage of using servlet is it is very easy to maintain, right? As you can see, if you add some HTML tags inside Java code, it is very harder to maintain, right? If you have thousands of HTML tags and if you want to change something, update something to on your browser, on your application, it is very harder to find out the tags, right? But in this case, it is very easy to maintain. Then no need to recompile or if deployment is required. Once JSP file is compiled and deployed and already stored inside the server, it is no need to execute again and again uh, before sending to the client side. It is and less coding is required. See, this is a very simple example, right? But see the number of code lines, right? We have to extend something, we have to extend some external resources, we have to import libraries, we have to give a name for the servlets, then we have to specify the objects, we have throws process, right? Exception handlings. Here also we have to specify the cookies, we have to create the object here. Then again, we have to pass the required object here. Error handling exceptions. There are a bunch of codes available, but when we use JSP, it is very easy to code, right? Then JSP are extended version of servlets. There are some connection in between JSP and servlet. We will discuss these things later on, right? Uh, okay, we can move forward. Then when we consider JSP architecture, inside the web server, we have a JSP engine, right? Inside the web server, we have a JSP engine. As a client, we can request the JSP request. Then there is a JSP engine inside the server. The server will process on this requested JSP file, target JSP file. If the JSPs need some data from database, it can communicate with the database which is connected to the server. Then database will be respond the required data. Then again, JSP engine can process on this data and create a HTML page actually, right? Finally, this will create an HTML file, HTML response, and send it back to the client side, right? This is the architecture, JSP architecture. We called this one as three-tier architecture. There are three main components are integrated with this JSP architecture. That is the reason why we call this architecture is three-tier architecture. When we consider the life cycle of JSP, first we have a JSP file, right? Then this JSP file will translate to a servlet code, right? That is the reason why we learned servlet before starting the JSP topic. JSP file will be converted to a JSP, servlet file or a Java file, .java extension file automatically by the server, JSP engine, right? We no need to convert this one manually. JSP server will be automatically JSP engine will be automatically convert this JSP file to a servlet file. Then servlet file will be compiled to a class file. Then Java runtime environment will be executed via class file and creating servlet objects and create a dynamic content for the client, right? Then send to the client side. This is the life cycle of JSP. The important thing is once a client is requested some JSP file, JSP content, it will convert to the servlet by using JSP engine from the server side. Then this Java file will be compiled to a class file. Then Java runtime environment will execute your Java file or the class file and creating some dynamic content and send it to the client side, right? And the important of this one is no recompilation or redeployment is required. What it means? Once you compile a specific JSP file to a servlet file, after that, how many client requested are coming, it is not considered the number of requests are coming from client side to server side. The compiled version or the class file will be used in for after that it is one compiled to a class file, right? Then there are some JSP elements, expressions, scriptlets, retrieves, and declarations. We will discuss this one by using an example, right? Let's try to build up a simple or let's try to convert this code, this content to a JSP content, JSP file, right? First of all, I would like to convert this one. Instead of working with two different servlets, I will go to convert this content to a JSP file, right? First of all, we have to create a JSP in our project. Just right click on our project and go to new, and we can select a JSP file. Then you can give any name for a JSP file. In this case, I'm going to give a name as add.jsp, right? Add.jsp. Then we can create a JSP file. You can see the JSP file is stored inside the source under web pages, and we can see add.jsp file is created. And this is the basic add.jsp file. This is already a HTML file, right? The content is HTML. We can add some code here, Java code here, right? For example, let's try to remove, change this title, CSC3103, JSP session. Then add some properties here as well. That BG color. We are going to change the background color here to green. So different color, blue. Then we can place our Java code here in between HTML tag. We can place Java code. Just copy this content and paste it here. Right? Very simple. Paste it here. Right? Then we can say, yeah, I'll just copy this content from here. Out statement. Out not result should be sum. Right? In this case, we are going to calculate the two numbers which are coming from the client side and add two numbers and display the final result, right? But if I run this one, this text will be considered as some plain text. Let's see. Then URL should be add.jsp. Previous case, we are targeting a servlet, right? Therefore, we have to give the URL mapping. In this case, we can say directly the target JSP file, add.jsp file. We are targeting add.jsp file, right? Then I will save my changes, right? Then go to my browser, go back, then refresh, then insert two numbers. Once I submit this one, all right. The content is rendered to this one, but the background color is changed. It is okay because we are adding some content, we are adding some properties to the background tag. That is the reason why it will show the output something like this. But this Java code is considered as a plain text here, but, right? In the here, it is not converting it to a result. It is not converting to a servlet. Just consider this text as a plain text. Then how can we convert? How can we say this is the Java code, this is HTML tag? How can we separate this? We can separate this Java code with HTML tags using JSP tags, right? JSP elements. Here I have mentioned there are three types of JSP elements here. It's expressions, scriptlets, directives, and declarations. Under these four categories, we can use scriptlets here, right? We can use scriptlet tags, scriptlets element. Just we can say forward, greater than sign percentage mark. In between this delimiters, we can place our Java code. Inside this delimiter, we can place our Java code, right? Then we have to give the complete name for request object. I will explain what is the reason for this one, right? Request.get parameter, it will take the parameter number 1, number 2, and get the data coming from the client side and store inside these two different variables. Then calculate the sum and finally send the result to the front end, to the client side. I'll just save this one and go back to browser and refresh. Then insert two numbers here, 34 and 56, then submit. You can see we can get the result here. Now this one will consider as some Java code here, right? See, there are so many text here. We have to do lots of things here. We have to import HTTP servlet. We have to import required libraries. We have to give a name for the function. Then we have to create some object here, the print write object here, right? Instead of using too much work, we can simply use JSP here. This is the only thing, only Java code we require, right? Then we can get the result. Then if you want to wrap this output with some h1 tags, we can place these things in between some h tags, right? Right. We are placing Java in between HTML, right? That is the only thing happening here, right? Then if I change this one and save and go back, then refresh, you can see the content or the formattings are added to the plain text. Then if I see the page source, you can see there are some HTML tags available here, right? Instead of placing this uh, coding, we can see only result is available in the final HTML file, right? Actually, what happened here, this is a very good example. See, uh, we have a JSP file, but finally it is converted to a HTML response, right? This is the client side. This JSP engine, the server will send to the client side just only a HTML file instead of this code content, right? Here, the architecture is correct, right? We are requesting JSP file. Here, we are requesting JSP file, add to JSP file. Inside the server side, inside the web server, JSP file, JSP engine will be converted your JSP file to a servlet file, then perform some operation and come up with the final result, then converted it to a HTML file and send it back to the client side. That is the reason why you can see there's only a HTML file available in the client side, right? That is the story of JSP. Then there are three more different types of JSP elements: expressions, scriptlets, and directives declarations. We will discuss these things next. Right. First of all, let's try to convert. Let's see how the server will convert our JSP file to a servlet file. Right. I will take this one as the example. Right. This one. This is the Java code, right? This Java code is available in between two scriptlets, right? I will place my code from in left side, and I will use this space to build the relevant servlet file, right? Okay. As in traditional way, if you are directly using Java servlets, first of all, you have to create a class, right? Then you have to give a name for the class. Then you have to import required libraries. Then you have to extend your servlet with HTTP servlet. Then you have to implement the method, service method or do get method or do post method, right? But in here, just you are implementing some few code lines, right? Then the server side or Java JSP engine will convert your JSP file to a servlet file. Let's see. What is the name of my JSP file? It is add.jsp, right? Actually, what happened here is uh, JSP engine will be automatically convert your JSP file to a servlet. The servlet name should be add_JSP, right? It automatically convert public, sorry, public class. The name should be add_JSP. This is the name of your servlet class, right? Then it will be automatically extends HTTP servlet, right? To automatically converted HTTP servlet, then implement the service method here, public void service, and pass or given the required parameters. That is the reason why we have to use the complete name here, because the JSP server will be automatically created this object with the specified name, request name, complete name, right? That object we are using the created object by the server side. Server side will be automatically building these objects with this name. That is the reason why we have to use the correct name here, right? Then specify the service method. After that, we have some we have some created variables here. This variable will be created inside the service method. Then using out object, we can pass this content to the server side, sorry, client side, right? It will automatically create this out object inside the service method, right? And generated a HTML file and send it back to the client side, right? That is the thing happening inside the server side, right? Inside the JSP engine. But I mentioned earlier there are four types of HTML, sorry, JSP elements here. Scriptlets. If you are using a scriptlet, the content is go inside to the service method, right? It is the Java code required for or place inside the service method. Then we have another JSP element. We call it as expressions. Expressions. If you are send something, if you are send, or if you are hoping to send from server side to client side, you have to use expressions, expression tags, right? Then directives tags. If you are importing some external libraries, in here also we are importing some libraries. Java IO, library, IO exception, right? In here we are import some other libraries as well. Here, Java servlet, Java HTTP session library, cookies library, annotation web servlet library. There are a bunch of libraries are using here. If you want to import some libraries from a JSP file, you have to use directive elements, right? Then declaration elements. If you want to declare a variable outside the service method, but inside the class, we have to use uh, declaration tags, right? Declaration tags. Let's try to understand these things. This is a scriptlet tag. This content is go to where? This content is go to the service method. Go inside to the service method. This is the service method, or do get method or do post method, right? There are two parameters here. This is the service method, public void service, right? Then this is the class add public class add JSP extends HTTP servlets, right? This is the class. Then this, if you are using scriptlets, something like this one will be go inside to the service method. This variable and other things will be created inside the integer something, int j equals integer something, and integer sum equals I plus j. Then out.println statement is also go inside to the service method, but because we are using scriptlets here, right? Then if you are use some let's say expressions, we can use expressions in this way, right? /% mark equal sign. If you use equal sign, this means this is an expression. Then we can simply pass some strings here. Hello, this is from expression element, right? This is how we can use expression stacks in JSP, right? These things are also going side to this service method. This thing, hello, this is from something, right? These expressions are also placed inside the service method. Then let's see how, if you want to create a variable from outside this service method but inside this class. Let's say int test variable. Then if you want to create some variable here, you can use this method, or you can use the specific JSP elements. We called them as declarations, right? Declarations, greater than sign, percentage mark, and not sign, exclamation mark. Then we can close this tag here. Then inside this declaration elements, we can place our variable, test variable, right? This variable will be created from outside the service method or do get method or do post method, but inside the class method, inside the class, right? Then in this scenario, we are importing bunch of libraries here. Let's say the session library, yeah, this one, HTTP session library. We want to import some libraries. When we are working with JSP, we can use a specific JSP tag. We call them as the directive, right? We call them as directive tags, directive elements, right? We can say greater than sign, percentage mark, at sign. This is a directive tag, right? Then if you want to import some library, you can use the page word. Then we can say import equals, within quotation we can give any name here. Let's say this library. We just copy this one and paste here. If you have more than one library here, you can put a comma and place another library name. Let's say this one. You can place the library here by adding a comma in between two different libraries, right? If you have more and more libraries to be imported to your program, your JSP file, you can add more and more comma and add your content, right? This is the this content. These libraries will go to this place. Um, Outside the servlet class, right? These imported libraries will be go to the outside of the imported class, servlet class, right? Then go to beginning and let's see again the four different JSP elements. First one is scriptlets. Scriptlets are the things we are using place our Java code. These scriptlets are mapped into the service method. Inside the service method, the content of these scriptlets are placed inside the service method. Then expressions. If you want to add some string value or some result here, you can use this expressions tag. Expressions tag. These expressions tags are also placed inside the service method. Then we have some other tags, declaration tags. If you want to add some global variables, if you want to create a variable from outside the service method, but inside the class, we can use declaration elements, something like this. And if you want to import some external libraries to your program, you can use the directive text. This is the directive text, right? Then one more thing, one more important thing, there are some three different there are sub types of JSP directive tags we have. First one is we'll open a notepad. Okay, we'll use this space. There are three different types of uh, what directive tags, right? First one is add page. If you want to add some external library, you can use add page. Then if you want to add some JSP file, if you want to include some external JSP file, other JSP file, if you want to import some external previously created JSP file, you can use include, add include here, add include here. Then if you want to add some import some external tags, user defined tags, you can use tag lib, add size, tag lib, right? There are some attributes available in page. Then if you want to specify the language, you can use the language attribute here. Then you can specify the scripting language here. As you can see, there are some scripting languages available here, already automatically imported here. See, this is the directive tag. Then this is the attribute, the directive tag element, right? Then this is the attribute. Then this is the value, right? Language is an attribute. Then the content type is also an attribute. Then this is the value. Then this one, page encoding is an attribute, and this is the value. We can we can add some attributes with their value inside the directive tags, right? These are the different attributes of page directive, right? Next one is extends. If you want to extend some external or separate file, separate class, Java class, you can use extends attribute. Then you can specify the class name here, class name, right? Then import. If you want to import some external package to your program, you can use import attribute. Import package list. You can pass import package list, right? Then if you are maintaining a session using this JSP file, you can pass, you can use this session attribute. Then you can specify if it is a session, you can use, you can pass the true. If not, it is by default false, right? If you are not using session attribute, it is getting by default false. But if you are specify the session attribute as true, it will consider your JSP file as a session managed HTTP session file, right? Then if your page is an error page, or your JSP file is targeting to render to send once your system getting some error. Let's say if you are validating some user input, the user is accidentally import some invalid data fields to the submitted form. Then you want to execute your JSP file if only the clients have make some error, make some mistakes on their submission. You can specify this file is an error page. Then if you can say, if you can uh, add the error page URL here, error page URL here, right? Then if the page is an error page, you can use is error page attribute. By default, it is getting false, but if you specify this attribute, you have to pass true here for using to use or convert your JSP file as an error page. By default, it is false, right? If you want to specify it is a error page, you can use is error page attribute, right? These are some important attributes. There are so many attributes in page directive, right? These are some important attributes in error page directive. There are some other things. Page encoding is also an attribute of page directive. Content type, right? Language. These are some basic or the important uh, page attributes. Then if you are including some external file, you can do it in this way. Greater than sign, percentage mark, at sign. Now this is a uh, this is a directive uh, directive, right? Then we can use the include word here. Then you can specify the external file here, file path to file, external file, right? This is the way how you can include an external file to your JSP file using include directive. Then tag, if you want to import some user-defined tags here, you can use tag directive, right? Again, forward slash, sorry, greater than sign, percentage mark, at sign, then you can give tag name. Then using URI property, you can specify the URI and you can give a prefix, give any prefix name, right? Then the external set of tags you have, let's say ABC tag. This is a user defined tag, but the browser can't understand this is a user defined tag, right? Then you can give a prefix for this one, right? Then this ABC tag will be belongs to this prefix, fx prefix, right? If you pass something like this tag will be considered as fx tags, right? Fx prefix tags, right? Then these properties of these tags will be included to your program. If you are not specifying these tags here, the browser can't understand this is a user-defined tags, and browser can't import the user-defined properties for these tags, right? These are the three main types of directive tags. Page tag, if you want to add some external library, you can use page directive. If you want to include or import some external library, sorry, external file, you can use include tag here, include directive. If you want to import some user-defined tags, you can use tag lib directive. These are the three main types of directives in JSP, right? With all the directives are go to the front outside of class, servlet class, when we are converting this JSP to a servlet class. This is done by automatically done by the JSP engine, right? We now need to manually convert this JSP to servlet class, right? It is done by the server side or JSP engine, right? This is the thing that we have to cover under JSP, right? There are a bunch of important things. Let's go one by one again, right? uh, why we are using JSP in server side? The main thing is it is harder to add some HTML tags in between Java code. For the solution for that one, we can use JSP. In JSP, what we are doing is we are adding some Java code in between HTML, right? Because in web development, we are mainly focusing on the final view, final output, right? The colors, font sizes, some shapes, right? We are mainly focusing on the final output, right? Then we can place our Java code in between HTML using JSP. That's the main important thing, right? Uh, then if you are targeting some JSP file, we can give the JSP, add to JSP directly without giving any mapping here, without giving any map, URL mapping, we can directly specify the JSP, the target JSP file. Then we can use scriptlets tags to place our Java code, right? We can use scriptlet tags to place our Java code. This Java code will be stored, will be go inside the service method or do get method or do post method when once you are converting this JSP to servlet class. Then there are more than one JSP elements. This element will be considered as some expressions, right? If you want to send some expressions to server side, from server side to client side, you can use expressions JSP tags, right? These tags also place inside the service method. Then if you want to create some global variables, you can use declaration JSP tags, right? This is the declaration tag. This one will be mapped in from outside the service method, but inside the class, servlet class. Then we have one more type of JSP elements. We call it as directives, right? Directives. These directives we can use to import libraries, we can use to import JSP files, we can use to import some external tags as well. These all the directives are placed from outside the class, right? Then there are three main types of directives. First one is page directive. You want to add some library, import some library, you can use page. Then if you want to import some external JSP file to your JSP file, you can use include directive. Then if you are hoping to import some user-defined tags, external tags to your JSP file, you can use tag library, tag lib directive. Okay, these are the main important thing. Uh, we have to know about JSP, right? Okay, I will stop this point. We can continue the rest by next session.